Good day, and welcome to the Lilly Roddy Show, coming to you from the LRS studios here in Houston, Texas. I hope you've all had a very good week, and in some places it's actually getting warm since the spring moved in. Although it's still kind of cool here in Houston, and I know of course up north it's actually very cold. The energies in the sky are getting more intense as we build to the upcoming Cosmic Cross April 13th through April 30th. This Cosmic Cross is an alignment of at least 4 different planets. This one has Mars, Jupiter, Uranus, and Pluto with a dash of the Sun and Mercury. This is a time of great change and decision making. The energy is building, and we're already responding to the push of the planets. So we don't have to wait till mid-April for the fecal matter to hit the ventilation systems. So make some decisions and take some actions and empower yourself. That's probably sort of my main theme with this Cosmic Cross in cardinal signs. Cardinal signs being Aries, Cancer, Libra, and Capricorn. And with the Sun making contact with Jupiter, Uranus and Pluto on the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd of April this week, we'll be feeling the impact of the Cosmic Cross. So this week promises to be a busy, active one of real change. By the way, if you want to contact us here at the Lilly Roddy Show, you can email us at lillyroddyshow@aol.com, lillyroddyshow.com, or find us on Twitter, Pinterest, and Facebook. Let's get to the daily forecast. Sunday, March 30th, the moon spends the day in energetic Aries. The moon conjuncts the sun at 1:45 p.m. This is the new moon in Aries. Our energy level should be nice and strong this afternoon. Go out, have an adventure, or start a new project. Later in the afternoon, the moon squares Jupiter at 4:08 p.m. You will discover that this is a good afternoon to be out with friends or family or taking a hike in the park. The moon conjuncts Uranus at 5:45 p.m. We're feeling a bit restless this afternoon, and it may be difficult for you to know exactly what you want. Keep your dance card free this afternoon. The moon squares Pluto at 7:46 p.m. Our feelings and emotions are right on the surface, and we may do our best to keep them controlled or repressed. If you use this transit therapeutically, this is a great tool to get at some of your core fears and insecurities. Monday, March 31st, the last day of March, the moon continues moving through vigorous Aries all day. In the morning, the moon opposes Mars, 10:21 a.m. This aspect can have the feel of a double-edged sword. On one hand, this is a great day to challenge yourself and push yourself forward towards some personal goal. On the other hand, if you're not up for the challenge, you may feel that you're constantly on guard and feeling defensive. We will all be responding more rapidly to any challenges or changes in our environment with this aspect. The moon sextiles Venus 3:07 p.m. This afternoon is the time for kiss and make up. In business, it's a good time to be working with clients. With regard to personal issues, this is a very good time to be strengthening bonds with your partner. The moon is now void, of course, from 3:07 p.m. until very early tomorrow morning. Enjoy the relaxing pace of the rest of the day. Tuesday, April 1st. Happy April Fool's Day. The moon enters determined Taurus at 12:20 a.m. and spends the rest of the day in this sign. Early in the morning, the Sun squares Jupiter at 2:40 a.m. Normally, this is an aspect of personal growth and expansion. Since it's connected to the ongoing cardinal cross, this is adding to our sense of insecurity and lack of clarity about the future. This aspect can inflate our fears and concerns so much that they can even be used as propaganda against us. Make yourself feel empowered and find ways to generate more bonds and connections with everyone around you. Make their truth part of your truth. Later in the morning, the moon sextiles Neptune at 11:38 a.m. We are in a reflective mood this late morning. In business, take time to be more personal with those you interact with. In our personal life, we're just feeling more connected and more compassionate. The moon sextiles Jupiter at 8:55 p.m. You'll find this is a great aspect for any kind of activity, from socializing to business to a night of gaming. We're just really feeling upbeat. Wednesday, April the 2nd, the moon transits passive Taurus all day. The moon trines Pluto 12:29 a.m. If you're awake at this time, this is a good time to be organizing or reminiscing about the past. A little bit later in the morning, the Sun conjuncts Uranus. This aspect is one of great intensity, intellectuality, did I say that right? Intellectuality, and electricity. Our personal needs for independence and personal expression will be at an all-time high. This is the aspect of the entrepreneur or the rebel. And to be really successful with this aspect, we need to be both. This could certainly keep us awake through the night, this very intense aspect of Sun conjunct Uranus, and it will be in effect all day. Much later in the afternoon, the moon sextiles Mercury at 4:09 p.m. We're finally getting our thoughts and ideas together so that we can communicate clearly about what we've been going through. This is a great time for brainstorming, but not for linear thinking. The moon opposes Saturn at 4:54 p.m. Use this transit as a time to be aware of your boundaries and what you're responsible for, and especially what you're not responsible for. This is a good time for rational thinking. Mercury trines Saturn 10:02 p.m. It's a great aspect for organizing, planning, getting clear about the best resources to utilize. We are definitely interested in getting the most bang for our buck. We want things done right, and we're willing to wait for that to happen. This aspect is in effect all day, but since it comes near the end of the day, it helps to bring some sense of clarity and focus about our crazy morning. Things have to be seen in context and not made to fit our limited reality. This aspect is also in effect all day. Thursday, April 3rd. The moon starts the day in sensual Taurus. The moon squares Venus at 1:43 a.m. You will find this is a great night for sleeping and or late night snacking. The moon is now void of course from 1:43 a.m. until 6:48 a.m. when the moon enters Gemini. At 4:19 a.m., the Sun squares Pluto. This aspect is an indication of detoxing of one's ego. We should be letting go of the things we have outgrown, the things that are broken, and the things that never belong to us. This will certainly feel like a day of decision-making for many of us. All decisions are final, no returns. This aspect is in effect all day. The moon does enter flexible Gemini at 6:48 a.m. And the moon, of course, is no longer void, of course. The moon squares Neptune at 6:58 p.m. You'll be ready to wrap it up and go home early this evening. At the very least, take some time to yourself because you will certainly need it. Friday, April the 4th, the moon resides in versatile Gemini all day. The moon sextiles Uranus at 6:42 a.m. This is a good morning to be up early and getting your task organized for the day. What a great time to meet with friends for a morning walk or a cup of coffee or both. The moon sextiles the sun at 10:57 a.m. This combination of energies is really good for almost anything. We're able to communicate clearly, and people respond to us as though they're actually listening. The moon trines Mars, 9:45 p.m. Our good feelings continue through the evening. This is a great time to be out with friends, joking and kidding around. Be certain you change your routines and habits up this evening and add a little adventure to your life with that Mars activity. Saturday, April the 5th, the moon starts the day in loquacious Gemini and resides there until late afternoon. Our first aspect of the morning, the moon squares Mercury at 9:55 a.m. We're all feeling very chatty this morning. It's a great time for planning or discussing details in detail. Be sure to keep notes so you can remember what you talked about. The moon is now void, of course, at 9:55 a.m. until 4:40 p.m. when she enters her home sign of Cancer. This is one of those days when the moon is void, of course, for the most of the day. Let your emotions be your guide through the void, of course, time. Venus, planet of love and beauty and jealousy and envy, enters the goddess-like sign of Pisces at 3:31 p.m. For approximately the next 30 days, we will be able to see the inner beauty of others more easily. We should have more Venus in Pisces. The moon trines Venus at 4:46 p.m. You'll find this is a good afternoon to be with those you love and admire. If you're in the design or the interior decorating business, this is a great day for you. And with Venus, it's always a good day to be getting your financial affairs in order. That brings us to the end of our weekly forecast. Thank you so much for joining me this week and every week as we talk about what's going on each day. Please take some time to subscribe to my YouTube channel. This is the Lilly Roddy Show, coming to you from the LRS studios here in Houston, Texas, reminding you to keep those stars in your eyes. Bye-bye. See you next week.